why did you start LÜM? Like, what was the inception story?
Yeah, no, it's one of those things where you hear about it a ton, and then in the end, you end up realizing that everything you heard about it was true, and you're going through all the, bumps early on. But like you said, we started LÜM when we were still in school. So to give everybody some background, I'm Max Fergus. I'm the CEO of LÜM. And I graduated from UW-Madison about 2 years ago, originally with a background and a degree in finance and investment banking, but actually with a focus in healthcare and life sciences. So not related to music at all. Both of my parents actually were biochemists from the university. And my dad was a lifelong serial entrepreneur in the life sciences. And so when I was getting into school at UW, I was not super interested in the science part, but really interested in finance. And so, I spent my sophomore year in Shanghai, China, working for a healthcare and life science venture capital firm. And then in San Francisco, my junior year, and then was going into my senior year of school and got a really exciting offer from Rothschild, which is an old investment banking company that was trying to break into North America in New York. And so they offered me the opportunity to come on as a founder of their new healthcare investment banking division, not surprisingly. And so I got that job offer right as I was going into my senior year at UW. And I think about a week after getting that job offer, I started to get really bored. Probably when some people are really excited about, having everything locked up before they're leaving school. And so, one of my passions throughout my time at UW was always entrepreneurship. I was an entrepreneur at heart. And so during my senior year, I texted a bunch of friends and said, hey, let's create a think tank. Let's do something fun with our last 6 to 8 months here while we're at school. And I talked a lot with the entrepreneurship department at UW. One of the biggest things for me was, how can a university like Madison better compete with universities like Stanford, Harvard, MIT, that don't just have phenomenal research sides of their university affiliates, but are taking these undergraduate companies as kids leave school and creating flourishing business models. That's not something that happens in every single university around the US. And after getting rejected from Stanford as I was going into school, why not give it a shot while we were still at UW? And so we started a think tank, and our thesis was, let's look at industries that are growing exceptionally rapidly, but have really antiquated business models, or the technology within the industry is growing so quickly that maybe the business models are a little bit antiquated. And so we were really, really big fans, as I'm sure a lot of your viewers are, of esports and Twitch and live streaming. And so we started to really dive into that. And what we saw was that there's 1 million companies that are taking new streaming technology, whether it's karaoke or esports, right? Fortnite, short form video content like Tencent and TikTok, and not just creating new business models for the companies themselves, but creating new business models for the creators on their platform. And this was happening everywhere, right? Esports was a $100 million industry, and now it might as well be a $100 billion industry, just because we're starting to leverage better technology and give people a better medium to showcase their talents. Yet that just wasn't the case with music streaming. Music streaming is one of the fastest growing industries. At 60% year over year, it is one of the quickest growing industries in the world. But almost every single company is unprofitable. And so our big aha moment was the financial issues that we're running into in the music streaming industry are directly related to the frustrations of the majority of its users, 99% of the talented emerging musicians that are out there. And that to us seemed like a big area for disruption. And so what we noticed was that 99% of the music that is streamed is of the top 1% of the most corporate and mainstream music. So for Spotify, that requires them to pay the highest royalty and licensing payments, because it costs more for Spotify to stream Drake or Taylor Swift than it does them to stream me, singing my guitar, or, playing on my guitar in my dorm room. And so they've created this business model that's really, really expensive for them to run, given the fact that they're competing for these catalogs with Amazon and YouTube and Pandora. And at the same time, now you've just neglected the people that you should care about the most, which is all of these really talented, the next generation of amazing musicians that are being put in a position where they have no ability to promote themselves or use their fans to promote themselves, and also no ability to create any profitability. And so we thought, can we not only fix the financial issues of a growing industry, but can we also fix the issues with music promotion and profitability for emerging artists, as well as discovery and genuine human connection for fans? And that was really our entire thesis, right? Build the next generation of music using better technology, a better social user experience, and then of course, a better business model. And that's really, how we got started.
Now, it's fantastic. And I think you've hit on a lot of pain points that, I mean, I'm not a musician by any means. Like, I have the worst.
Neither am I. Don't worry.
I have the worst singing voice of all time. Like, and it's funny, but like, I believe musicians and artists are entrepreneurs, right, in their own right. And what I've noticed now, being an entrepreneur for the last 5 years and everything, is that, and interacting with musicians and stuff and artists, and they lack certain things, and there's not a place for them to actually express themselves or really network well. It's one of these areas and industries that it was really odd, like, when I understood how it worked, because yes, they can post music anywhere, but how is anyone going to find it, right? And then how can people actually connect with their fans, which is what you've, like, been crushing.